That's why Dubuque was selected by IBM as the city that they wanted to create their model for the smarter city, because they saw that we already had buy-in from citizens. And when you're going to start collecting data from households, even though it's anonymous, if you don't have that buy-in, you don't get the volunteers that step up.
I hear you.
When we put out a call for volunteers for the electric program, 1,000 smart meters so that they could set the program up. We had 1,300 volunteers step up.
Wow.
So that really speaks to how engaged people are in this community around that issue. Well before I've been on the council, we have a consultant come to town once a year, and we do a goal setting session. It's usually a 2-day session with the mayor and council. They come in one day, I think 2 or 3 weeks prior to that, and they meet with management and see what their priorities and goals are. And then when it comes to the council, we have those 2 days. We're pre-interviewed, on what's we've been successful at, what our successes were, what hasn't happened in the past year that we thought would, what needs to happen, in the next year, 5 years, to reach our 20-year vision. And all of that is brought back and discussed for those 2 days. And you can imagine how many different priorities, you have with a 7-member council and other ones that come from management. And we winnow that down to the top 4 or 5 priorities. And then we have, those are our major priorities. Then we have what we call the next tier, the top priorities, which focuses then the city manager's budget. He takes that list of 10 or 12 top priorities, and that's what he bases his budget on for the next year to 18 months to attain or to achieve those priorities. Now, in addition to that, there's ongoing projects that are multi-year projects, that obviously, you have to budget for. But that process has really given focus, I guess, to the city and to what you do, where you want to put your dollars to reach that 5-year and that 20-year vision for the community. So you never really get off on a tangent, spending money on something that, this is the latest, greatest thing. It may be the latest and greatest, but if it doesn't fit into your vision, then, it really focuses what you do as a community. And that's really, too, a secret of our success, is that we have those annual goal-setting sessions. So we're always focused on the priorities for the next year, our 5-year goals, and then the 20-year vision, where we want to be as a community. Well, we're very blessed in this community to have great city staff, tremendous city manager, and citizens that really want to be engaged. People will get engaged if they're given the opportunity to do that. And I really believe that, and I don't care what community it is. If you really want to be successful, you've got to engage the citizenry in the decision-making process. Not just that one time at the ballot box, but when you've got major initiatives, set up that citizen commission or that task force and get their input. And that's another thing that we do in this community, and I don't know if they do it in Freeport, but we have citizen boards and commissions that are advisory in nature and give the city council and city staff another tool to use the expertise of citizens, to address issues. We've got like a housing commission, the parks commission, safe community task force. There's a whole list on our website, airport commission, of citizen commissions and boards that are appointed by the city council, and they give advisory information back to the council on a broad base of issues. It's very nonpartisan, and that's really I think, a reason for our success too. We don't have that political back and forth of the political parties. You know, one of the priorities of the city council, as far as the city manager is concerned, is continuing education. We actually almost require him, you know, to look at opportunities, and our city manager has done that. He's been to the Kellogg Institute, passed that course. He's been to Harvard Business School, to their programs. I mean, he is very, very knowledgeable, and he does whatever he needs to do to keep up to date on the latest doings or workings of city management. And we're very, very grateful that he does that. But you know, we do almost require that as a city council, that he be current on the latest issues, and he's been very good about doing that. And he's, as far as I can understand, he's always one of the top in his class too. We've been very fortunate to have him in the city of Dubuque for 16 plus years now.
Roy, thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure.
This has been extremely helpful and exciting to hear of your excitement